What is up guys, Alex here, otherwise known as Clash with Style, and we are back with Weekend Wars number 21. And today we have another EYG clan. We have Screams of War against I'm Forgiven. So you can see this was indeed a perfect war for Screams of War, 60 stars to 34. So an absolute annihilation here for Screams of War. So well done to them on the victory. Unfortunately, Supercell being Supercell, they have sort of screwed me over here. They did a maintenance break and cleared the majority of the replays, so I've only got from after the maintenance break till the end of this war to record, so I was really limited in what I am recording, but luckily I was still able to get 5 pretty solid 3-star strategies. We've got some Town Hall 9, some Town Hall 10 and one Town Hall 12 to show you guys today. So let's just jump into them. We're going to be starting off here with Burnsy from Screams of War, going in here with a looks to be Gobo Wee. I'm guessing they will have bowlers in the clan castle. So we're going to be starting off from this right hand side and the top. Of course, as usual, we've got a couple of groups of witches with healers in behind to keep them up. Some of them will push into the base and some of them will push around the base. The bowlers from the clan castle will get huge value, but unfortunately with 3 air enemy troops coming out of the clan castle, they could cause some issues. But Burnsy opting to use a rage spell, poison spell and a freeze spell to make sure those clan castle troops do not do too much damage, and the queen in behind is able to get the job done. And keep an eye on these witches on the back side of this base, sweeping around either side, doing huge work for us. The bowlers cleaning out so much in the center. It looks like the majority of these bowlers are still up. The queen also doing her part to keep these defenses going down in the center, which is still going very strong along the outside of this base. Unfortunately, we do not have another jump spell, so the troops are going to be held up, bashing on a wall for a little bit. King finally uses his ability to push through that wall right there, but the witches around the outside of the base have cleared out the majority of the structures. Like I said at the start, the bowlers will get pretty good value as long as you can keep them up. Sometimes it will go wrong. They might catch a double giant bomb, catch a couple of spring traps, and that can spell disaster. But Burnsy did a fantastic job here, using those spells as and when needed to make sure he can push right into that center and that the enemy clan castle didn't take down his bowlers before they got the value he needed them to. So let's go and take a look at another Town Hall 9 3-star from Screams of War. Mono is going to be going in here with what I like to call Go-He-Wee. So we've also got those healers, and then the majority of the army is made up of witches. So we're going to be starting off with witches down on this bottom section of the base with healers on them, as well as witches on this right hand side of the base with, of course, healers on them. And when saying this strategy's name, it just sort of makes me think of Michael Jackson. Go hee wee! You know, sorry, I'm getting a bit waylaid here. So we're going to be pushing into the center here. Again, going to have those bowlers coming out of the clan castle. Those max level bowlers can do some serious work. You saw a spring trap catching one of them, and even 1 or 2 falling can cause some real issues. Dragon again coming out of the clan castle, so we need our queen, sorry, to step up and deal with that if we can get her to. It looks like she is on to the enemy dragon, but it's going to just go out of range. She's going to need to swing around here, and we have not managed to break into the center of this base, which is going to cause us some issues indeed. The majority of our bowlers and witches have pushed around the edge of this base, and our queen is stuck there bashing on a wall. Going to use a rage spell to get the king and those bowlers in to take out the enemy queen. Poison spell used on nothing. I'm not really too sure what the poison spell in the center was for. Maybe just realized he would probably end up swagging it. Always to use that jump spell when the queen was just about done going through that wall, I believe. Yeah, so this one you can see on very low health. Maybe slightly got a little bit impatient there. Probably could have used it on the back end right about here to get the king and the queen all through these last sections of wall. But nonetheless, the witches that have pushed around the outside of the base have done an amazing job. Queen's ability is going to be swagged pretty much right there, and Mono able to pull off a pretty strong 3-star right there. So even if things don't go your way, usually this strategy, as long as the witches stay up around the outside of the base, they will be able to swing into the remaining buildings in the center at the end, and should usually pull off a pretty convincing 3-star. So well done to Mono on that. Let's go and take a look at some Town Hall 10 action. So the next couple, I believe, are from Bra. So he obviously going in here with Jai Bo. So we've got Giants out in front, and it's rare that I see Giants used at Town Hall 10. It's usually one or two Golems that will be put out in front, but the Giants will be able to get some pretty good value here, tanking nice and early on. Also going to soak up some of those single target Inferno Beams. Double Giant Bomb, unfortunately, is going to rip through quite a few of those Giants there as we push into the base. Again, all air enemy clan castle. Those balloons will cause some issues. We need the Queen to step up and start ripping through them as quickly as we can, because if any of them get locked onto our bowlers, they will absolutely destroy them. Jump spell goes down in the center of the base, to give access to as many of these compartments as we can. Witches are still going strong around the outside. Giant bomb, oh, double giant bomb. Unfortunately, the top of the base is going to take out 4 or 5 of the witches up there, which Brad definitely would not have wanted. A few witches on this left hand side should be able to push through some of these remaining structures right there. Plenty of witches as well as skeletons still up in the center, and at this point it's really just a case of cleanup. The Queen, not really too sure where she's going. She was definitely closer to that archer tower, but she's going to come and help take out these bottom buildings. Look at the amount of skeletons that are on the screen right now. A huge amount. I'm guessing they've not caught any traps to be taken out, but the Queen's ability is still in hand, so we will swing round right here and take out, I mean, it wasn't a max Town Hall 10, but it was still pretty solid. So well done to Bra on that one. Let's go and take a look at his other 3-star in this war. And here we go again, not a max Town Hall 10. Neither of these bases have been maxed, but it is still a challenge, I find, against some of these layouts with the Inferno Towers to get the 3-star, and witches and bowlers such popular strategy at Town Hall 10. So let's see how Bra is going to go about this. Again, using the poison and freeze combination on the clan castle troops to make sure they do not get too much value. Going to be going in with the wall wrecker on this one, going to be pushing right into the center of the base. A few giants out in front will stop those single target Infernos from locking onto that wall wrecker too early. Wall wrecker is now getting into that final compartment. Single target Inferno has locked onto it, so it is going to fall right there, but it has done its job. We are into the center. Rages and heals used to keep these bowlers and witches and whatever else is in there up for as long as possible. Looks like our two heroes, King and Queen, have both swung around to this top hand side, but that is not too much of an issue as the troops in the middle are doing a fantastic job at cleaning everything out. We also have a massive group of witches and bowlers at the top. Double giant bomb again, taking out quite a few of them, but luckily the witches just staying out of range, and they will continue to swing around and clean out these remaining buildings for another 3-star for Brass. So a 6-pack war for him. Well done for sure on that one. Let's go and take a look at the last attack of this video, which is a Town Hall 12 Queen Charge Wee Bo Bat, excuse me. And of all the names that I have to pronounce, this is probably one of the most difficult. So let's have a go. Kazuchika Okada. Definitely probably butchered that, so apologies, but we're going to be going in here with, like I said, a Queen Charge and then a Wee Bo Bat. So just witches and bowlers. I'm guessing he will use the wall wreckers to tank. Yes, so wall wrecker going to be coming in from the top here. The good thing about this strategy is, as it is ground based, if the Queen does get taken out, the healers will be able to change over to these troops, whereas if it's a Queen Charge Lalo or something, the healers are pretty much stuck doing nothing. So Rage Spell going to be used nice and early right there to push these troops into the center, and this is a max Town Hall 12, so Kazuchika will certainly have to have their work cut out to push through this base. Unfortunately, the Warden's ability used very early there, and the Giga Bomb will be able to catch any troops that are under it. Queen's ability was used around this left hand side, but she is now taken out, so the healers have swapped to these troops in the center of the base. The Giga Bomb has gone off, and I don't think it got too much value, so that is very helpful for us. Free spell slightly late there, missing out on quite a few of these bats. Unfortunately, another free spell will need to go down quite late again. The multi-target Inferno already ripping through quite a lot of those bats, but luckily able to take down that multi-target Inferno before it comes back up again. We still have one free spell left, and we have no splash damage defenses, so hopefully these bats can continue to rip through this base and take out defense after defense. A couple of cleanup troops going in from this right hand side. Free spell just going to be used on some of these air targeting defenses on the back end to allow these bats to destroy them and start their cleanup work. And a very, very strong 3-star here from Okada, going to be pushing through some of these buildings to finish off some of these high hit point structures, these storages, etc. But the bats will help on the top section. That ice golem just going to be bashing on a wall there. Warden's going to help out a little bit as well, and the healers will keep everything on full health, even though there are no defenses to take down anything else. And a very, very strong 3-star there to finish off this video. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys stopping by the video. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying my regular uploads, really trying to stick to a pretty strict schedule of at least one video every 2 days, if not one video every day. Also going to be trying my best to get out at least 2 episodes of Weekend Wars every week. If there won't be 2, there will definitely always be 1 at least. As well as I have now started my Town Hall 10 Push to Legends League series, and I'm really excited because we have some special guests line up from the EYG community coming on that series pretty soon, so make sure you stay tuned for that. My words are all getting jumbled up. You can tell I've been talking for far too long, so let's finish the video there. Thank you for watching, guys. Drop a like, leave a comment which one of these 5 attacks was your favourite, subscribe to, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.